If you haven't driven one, you're probably gonna laugh. You're probably gonna judge it. But this little cage on wheels is a hoot to drive. Today, I'm gonna show you why this little thing is worth the embarrassment. And after that, I will show you some of my favorite features, take it for a drive and give you some driving impressions, and then in the end, I will point out some of the things that you should look for if you're planning to buy one of these. Man, I feel so big. Cast your mind back to the late 1990s, when blowjobs in the Oval Office were a thing and Friends was still playing on TV. Cities were becoming more congested, and parking spaces were more scarce than ever. It was against this backdrop that the idea for the Smart Fortwo was born. Conceived by the collaboration of Swatch and Mercedes-Benz, this innovative vehicle aimed to revolutionize urban mobility. With its compact dimensions and quirky design, the Smart Fortwo promised to navigate narrow streets and slip into any tight parking space with ease. The first generation Smart Fortwo, released in 1998, embodied the essence of minimalism. Its distinctive silhouette, with its truncated rear end and upright stance, turned heads wherever it went. Despite its tiny size, the interior is surprisingly spacious, offering ample headroom and a surprising amount of legroom for both the passenger and the driver. The dashboard was adorned with playful colors and quirky details, adding to the car's charm. The first generation Smart never made it to the US. The second generation, the 451 series, launched at the 2006 Bologna Motor Show, and it was sold here in the US as a 2009 model. For those looking to reduce their carbon footprint, the Smart Fortwo electric drive is a game changer. With its all-electric powertrain, this eco-friendly version of the Fortwo delivers a silent and smooth driving experience. Instant torque ensures brisk acceleration off the line, while regenerative braking helps maximize range and efficiency. Plus, with zero tailpipe emissions, you can zip around town guilt-free, knowing that you're doing your part for the environment. The Smart Fortwo may not be the most practical car on the market, but it's certainly one of the most charming and fun. And as I mentioned, with the electric drive model, you can enjoy guilt-free motoring while you turn heads wherever you go. So if you're in the market for a fun and funky city car, why not take a look at the Smart Fortwo? And who knows, it might put a smile on your face every time you hit the road. And now let's talk about my favorite features, which this car is filled with just cool stuff, just because of the nature of the car. First of all, the design outside, right? You can see all these panels are plastic and you can replace them with any color you want, pretty much. The frame itself, which goes around here, is metal, but then the rest is all plastic and you can replace it. Right over here, you can see the Mercedes influence with the wipers being on the outside, and it's got three little nozzles here to spray water onto the windshield. Now check out the engine, guys. Just kidding. The engine is actually in the rear. This is a mid-engine car, rear engine, rear-wheel drive. But this is actually how you open the hood. You have these little things here. You push them in to release these hooks right here, and then this plastic body panel just comes right out, and there's a little hook here that you can, mount it right in here, and then you have access to a few different components, not too many things in here. And then to put it back in, just simply slide it back into these hooks here. Reattach this. There you have it. LED lights right at the bottom over here, and as you go along, you have multiple wheel choices depending on what trim you select. Right here you can see the lines, very aggressive looking, that go from the bottom towards the end towards the top of the car, giving it that very sporty look, along with the flared fenders, both in the rear and the front. It's a pretty cool looking thing, don't you think? And the top right here, this one is the convertible top version. So you can actually retract the convertible top in multiple ways. You can use your key fob to do that. Or you can use the button inside. And there's more, because this one is a full-on convertible. You can retract the back piece all the way down, and you can remove these two pillars right here and store them right in the back. Let's see if we can do that. Now, once you do that, you just open this portion right here. There is a storage bin right in here for those two SIP pillars. Just open this up right here, and there's a little locking mechanism right up here. Just take that out, and this is designed specifically for each pillar to be stored here. Once you're done, hey, come here. So I've noticed that about 99% of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. Now, why is that? I don't know. But what I want to do is I want to make this into at least 50% by the end of this year. So do me a favor, if you're watching, go and subscribe right now. By the way, the tailgate on this thing is electric. You can actually hear the motors actuating, and as you saw me earlier, you can actually tailgate on this thing. How cool is that? Now in here, come in here, we have the charger right here for the car. Okay, it uses your standard charging port. And you can charge with 120 or 240. This one being the electric model, it has the charging port right where the gasoline, regular gasoline cars have the tank fill up. So here you just pop this open, and then you have your standard charging port right in here, which you can plug in at any location, home, etc. On this side right here, you can actually see a functional vent right here. On the gasoline power or diesel power cars, this actually lets air go in there, but you know, this is electric, so it doesn't really need it. In the interior, as I mentioned, very minimalistic but very cool design in here. Right in the middle you have your key, ignition key right here. You just put it in the middle, and then you have your accessories, ignition, and then go all the way in for starting the car. Electric power steering. In here you have your climate control, you have your AC and your heating controls right here. Up here you have your battery status, that's how much charge you have left, and this is how much you're using or charging with the regenerative braking, and you can turn these around. Now I got flappy paddles on this one, but for the automatic, for the electric drive, I don't think it does anything. If you know, put it in the comments below, I'm not sure. Head unit right here that has been upgraded, and then you have just different controls in here for your door locks, tires, and seat heaters. That's right, we have heated seats in our smart car. The dashboard right here is very basic. Again, I keep saying minimalistic, but that's what it is. But it's cool. Look how tiny it is. It looks like almost like a tripod, 3 different vessels right here. And right in the middle, you have your speed and basic information, turn signals, traction control. Not much there. A big pocket on this area just to put, storage containers, whatever you want. And then look at this area right here. It's kind of like a little table. You can put your French fries here if you're picking up something to eat. Look at this, a little glove box just to put, like a roll of toilet paper, not much more. And then down here, look at that. You have additional storage for an envelope. Now, what's cool about the smart car is efficient use of material, let's call it, right? And space. Right down here, you can find the battery is located somewhere in here under these layers of carpet. Let's see if I can find it. Right in there it is. The seats, you can recline front or back. You can put stuff right in here, access whatever you have in here as well. And these do come with a cover for your hatch area. This one doesn't have it, but they do come with that. And now, for my favorite part, let's take it for a drive. And now driving the Smart Fortwo electric drive. Quite a fun little car this is. And with the electric motor starting off the line, it's quite fun. Now obviously after 40, then it becomes more of a normal car because this is not very powerful. But initially, that initial kick, it makes it very exciting. Now, one of the most surprising things about smart cars is that you will think you will feel uncomfortable, tight, whatever in here. You do not at all. There's plenty of space, especially now with the top down. Tons of room in here. No matter if you're 6'4" or 5'7", you'll find a comfortable spot in here. And guess what? The car itself, the suspension is designed to make it feel very, very stable and very comfortable as well. People are incredibly surprised when they see me take off in this thing. I recently introduced this car to the channel because this is my own car, and so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Go watch that video to see my initial impressions. But man, what a fun little car this is. And now you're really pumped and excited to buy one of these. So allow me to highlight some of the things that you should look for if you're planning to buy one. I made a video to show you general things to look for when buying any car, like body shape, signs of wear, leaks, etc. I've also created a checklist so that you don't miss any steps. The link to that is included below. Use that as your starting point. But now let's dig into things to look for this car specifically that I think can be costly repairs. Keep in mind that it's never a bad idea to bring along a car-savvy friend with you who is familiar with these cars. If you found one that you have your heart set on, I would also recommend you get a PPI, a pre-purchase inspection done by an experienced smart mechanic or the Mercedes dealership. It'll be the best $200 you spend on the car. Be sure to discuss with the current owner the list of items we'll review in this section of the video. Additionally, the list of items we're going to review apply to all model year Smarts unless I state otherwise. Also, be aware that the economies of scale apply here. This isn't a Corolla. Although it's cheap to buy, it is still a Mercedes product with low production numbers here in the US. And that means it costs money to run and repair. Right, so now let's jump right into it. The first item I want to point out is the automated manual transmission known as soft tip. These can be prone to issues like jerky shifting or failure to engage gears. So test drive the car thoroughly to check the smooth operation for any gear changes and unusual noises. For manual transmission cars, be sure to check the operation of the clutch. These are quite expensive and can run you a couple grand to replace. Next item I want to point out is the engine. This is a mid-engine car. The engine is in the rear. And so look out for any signs of oil leaks, engine misfires, or loud knocking sounds. The engine, particularly in earlier models, can sometimes suffer from head gasket failures or premature wear of the timing chain components. The second generation engines are made by Mitsubishi, which are more reliable. Also check the radiator for cooling system leaks or any signs of overheating. The plastic radiator can be susceptible to cracking, leading to coolant leaks. On gas power smarts, the flex pipe tends to get corroded and break over time. Give the tailpipe a quick tug and it feels solid, then it's probably good. If there's too much movement and it sounds like it has an exhaust leak while running, it's probably your flex pipe. These are quite the job to replace since they are hidden below. So repairs can run from anywhere from $400 to $1,000 depending where you go. Next item, electrical issues. So ensure that all the electrical components, your lights, windows, air conditioning, etc., are functioning correctly. Issues with the SAM, the signal acquisition model, can cause various electrical glitches in these cars. Also, let's talk about the SRS. Be on the lookout for any airbag codes if the SRS light stays on the dashboard. These cars tend to have issues with some of the wiring for the SRS system, and sometimes the scripts on the airbags themselves can go bad, and that's an expensive affair. Next item, body and the exterior. Inspect for any rust, especially around the door sills and the wheel arches. The Fortwo's bodies, the panels are plastic, so they won't rust. But the underlying steel components can be very vulnerable, especially for cars in the rust belt. While we're down here, let's talk about the suspension and the steering. Listen for unusual noises while driving over bumps or rough roads. Check for any play in the steering wheel, which could indicate worn out components. Some of these cars come equipped with electric power steering, so if you notice a dead spot as you turn the steering wheel, this could be an indication of a bad electric steering motor. Also, the braking system. Ensure that the brakes are responsive and that there are no unusual noises or vibrations when braking. Check for condition of the brake pads, the discs. This could be cheap and easy as a DIY if you're doing this yourself, but if you take it to a shop, you could be looking in excess of $500. While you're down here, look into the tires. Look for uneven wear, which can indicate alignment issues or suspension problems. These tires, although they're tiny, are very expensive for their price. There's only a few manufacturers that make these tires, and some shops require to install the staggered wheel setup that these cars come with, which can make it more expensive. So keep that in mind. Now onto the convertible top. On convertible top models, ensure that the top opens properly without the hooks coming off the rails. Over time, the top will shrink, causing the front right here to lift and allow wind to sip through and make noise. So look into that because this can be an expensive repair. Recalls. There are several recalls for these cars already. So be sure to look into the recalls for the vehicle you are buying. The best option to find your recall information is to go on the manufacturer's website, which is linked below. I'm also including the for the US, the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration. The link is also included below here. At either location, simply enter your VIN number and this will give you a list of available recalls for these vehicles. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you find this information helpful and informative. If you did, please give me a like, comment below as it may help other people, and don't forget to share this video and subscribe. It will help the channel. Thanks and see you in the next one.